Welcome, Royal Family. You tuned into Healing Queenz, the podcast, where the focus is motivation, support, and guidance for the growth of our queens. I'm Emma E2K, your certified healing life coach. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We're on episode 64. And this is long-term healing part two. So the first one was about physical, and this one is mental. So we're going to get into long-term healing, but the mental aspect of it. This episode is sponsored by Florida Executive Maintenance, HealingQueens.org, and E2K Worldwide Services, LLC. Again, topic is long-term healing. And for the sake of this podcast, we're going to just talk about the mental aspect of it. So the episode before this one, if you've seen it or if you didn't, please go see it so you can understand more of what's being said in this second part two. I spoke about, and I gave an exclusive of what I was going through as far as my teeth. So back in March, a couple of months ago, I had oral surgery, which pertained to having to remove all my teeth at 55. It's been a long-term healing as far as physical, and I spoke about that again in our last podcast. But for the sake of this one, I want to tap into the mental aspect. The mental aspect when someone is long-term healing, right? The toll it takes you in your mind, where you need to fight depression. Some people are so scared of what other people may say that they hibernate and they hide from other people. They'll go as far as lie to other people, right? Oh, I'm good, I'm okay, right? And some people that want to check on your mental health and you're too busy saying, I'm okay. And then when nobody's calling, you're like, wow, I don't have no friends or people don't care about me. No, it's just if you continue to tell people you're okay, then that's what they're going to assume, that you are okay. I've never pretended that I was okay with all this happening to me. Again, who would have thought that me trying to be so tough in the things that I went through as far as domestic violence, allowing my abusers to punch me and me taking it, as an act of strength, not knowing all the damage that it would do later on down the line, right? And this is what I'm going through now, where my gums were so soft from getting, punched in the mouth so much, or in the face, or in the nose, right? In my jaw, that after a couple of years it just weakened, and I started having all these situations, which didn't help that in 2 or 3 occasions when I did go to the dentist, I had dentist trauma. So adding that to that equals what, my journey now. I'm not totally out of the woods yet, right? I'm still having to do procedures done, but I think the worst procedure was already, I already went through that. Again, physically, I'm still coping because even trying to do this podcast, which I felt was important because I'm like, people are not talking about it. And even though my mouth dries up like quickly, like me speaking, I still wanted to do the podcast. I still wanted to reach out I still want, there's a lot of people that reached out to me in the last podcast, and they were like, oh, we didn't know. Like I said, I'm not doing this. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm not doing this for people to feel sorry for me. I'm doing it to start a conversation. Because there's more people that we don't realize that are going through this in silence. Like, because they're either too vain, right? I've spoken to some of my friends that were like, oh, girl, I couldn't do that. I'm too vain. So if it does happen to you, you're going to go through depression and all that and not allow somebody to help you because you don't want people to know that something happened to you. Like, no, that's not me. See, I live in freedom. I don't live in bondage anymore. That I don't care about if people want to talk about me and make fun, do that. I mean, that's on you, right? That's how that's your perspective. That's your decision if you want to do that. The purpose of me doing these podcasts is always to encourage and elevate. And even though I'm going through a real serious time in my life, I still want to share this journey for those that are going through it or have gone through it. Man, have conversations with people that you know are going through it and help them out. It's hard to find people that will open up and be like, girl, I went through that. And, you know, mentally that messed me up. But I had a village and I had friends. And again, you know, don't feel sorry for me. I have great people around me that surround me, that pray for me, that got my back, that they don't judge me. That I can see that the love is genuine. But what about the people that don't have that? What about the people that are facing long-term healing by themselves? You know, your mental messes with you. Because even me having people around me, sometimes, the enemy just want to creep in like, oh, people are going to laugh at you. They're going to make fun. Oh, this and that, whatever. And I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I'll be like, what you say? And then I got to remind myself like, oh, no, he didn't take 3 seconds of my life. I can't get back. I'm not listening. I'm not listening to negativity. I stay prayed up. I stay around positivity. I don't allow nobody that's around me to be talking negative and all that. It's just because, at this point, I got to be very careful with what I allow my ears to hear, my eyes to see, and even what I'm speaking. I got to be very careful. I got to be very careful. I got to stay prayed up because the enemy is just grabbing any opportunity, any chance he can get. And it ain't happening. Not today, not tomorrow, not on God's watch. Because I know who I belong to. I have a higher power that keeps me elevated, keeps me motivated, keeps me inspired, and allows me to remember who I am in him and who he is in me. And all this love that he has for me, right? The crown he has placed on my head permanently. Because if you can't see the crown, you can't see me, right? And even though no matter what I'm going through physically, mentally, I try to remind myself of who I really am and my worth. Now, this is just a journey. This is where I'm at now. I have other surgery scheduled coming up. And pretty soon I'll be able to, smile and be okay with my smile. I'm not too comfortable with it right now. That's okay too. This is where I'm at in my journey. This is my process. You have to guard your mental when you're long-term healing. You have to really guard your mental. Like you have to work that muscle, right? Which is our mind. Sometimes the way that we work it out is by knowing what we're feeding it. So what we're reading is important. What we're looking is important. What we're listening to is important. all that goes and reflects to our mind. Stay around positive people. Stay around people that want to see you win. People that are there to support you wholeheartedly. That don't want anything from you, but just want to see you win. I know a lot of us may not have that. And people around you are maybe vain or superficial, and will see you different because now you're going through stuff. It don't matter what they think. It matters what you think. It matters what you know. And what I know is that I have purpose. I'm here for a reason. Like, I'm not doing all this just because I want to. I'm doing it because this is my calling, to share my experiences, right? To let you know the amazing God that I serve. And that even through all this stuff that I'm dealing with, physically, mentally, emotionally, I still continue to do my first ministry, which is hold my family down, hold my children down, make sure that they're good, make sure that those around me understand how much and how grateful I am for the covering that I have. I mean, without that, I don't know really where I would be. So for all you that are long-term healing, guard your mental, man. Protect your heart, but protect your mind, because our mind can trick us. Our mind can trick us. People could come at us in a certain way and we may take it as another way because mentally, right, we're battling. So protect it. Keep yourself in prayer. Read your Bible. Stay around positive people. Stay around the people that will pour into your life and that will pray for you. Even when you don't know they're praying, that you know that you have prayer warriors that are out there, praying. Because this walk is not easy. This walk is not easy. Life is very hard. But for the sake of this podcast, when you're long-term healing, you have to protect your mental. Because long-term healing means you've been in that bed for several months. Long-term healing means that you're depending on pills or medication to sustain you, right? All this time, whether it be just even Tylenol or Motrin, right? But you count on that for your headaches or your pains or your discomfort. These doctor visits, when you are going to doctor visits, some people end up in these doctor visits alone. Again, I'm fortunate that I have people that really do care and surround me and allow me this safe space that I can be me and I don't have to feel no shame about what just naturally has happened to me because of things that were done to me. I mean, I didn't go and do this myself. This is not something that I did for any type of enhancement or whatever. These are just casualties of all the things that I've experienced through my domestic violence journey. And this is where I'm at, sharing with you that if you're going through it, don't protect yourself physically. Don't take those punches. Do not take those punches. Do not take those slaps because they add up and physically they'll mess with you and mentally they'll break you. So protect your mind. Protect it by guarding it, man, because it starts right here, right? It starts with one thought. Oh, what did they say? Or what did he think? Or what did she think? Or why are they looking at me? Or they must be looking at me because they noticed that, whatever. And it just becomes a trickle effect. And you go down this rabbit hole that you won't know how to get yourself back out. My reality and my journey is different than others, but the formula is the same. If you're long-term healing, guard your mental. Guard your mental, because it does affect you mentally. It really does. I have a lot of friends that are healing from different things. They're long-term healing too. And if you're not in community, and if you're not exchanging thoughts or ideas, and if you're a creative person and you're not creating, it can mess with your psyche. It can mess with your mental. So continue to create. If you're a writer, continue to write. If you're a speaker, continue to speak. I will not be silenced, even without teeth. I'm still here doing podcasts. It may sound a little muffled, but you guys understand me. It won't be like this forever, but for now it is what it is. I'm not ashamed, and you shouldn't be either. Reach out for help if you need it. Reach out to somebody if you need to talk. Don't try to do life on your own, because this life is not meant to do alone. So again, thank you. Another episode done. Another journey, walking through it. I appreciate you. Know that you are amazing. Be that light in the dark. As soon as you walk in that room, you should shine. And if they don't see the crown, they can't see you. Until next time. Peace.